Today we're going to take our money for grades that use the if-else statement with boolean operators to convert it into how a switch handles an or boolean situation. Now, both of the uncompleted programs are sitting in Chapter 3 folder in Schoology. Both of these, you can open them up in JGrasp and fill in as I go along. Once I'm done with both of them, I will upload the total ones, the ones that have been completed, so you can use them for your notes. I'm also going to upload the Word document that is completed so you can read through it if you want to. Okay, so let's get started. So here in front of me, I have the Money for Grades switch program, which is going to demonstrate a for loop and how a switch is coded for a boolean or. Same situation, we have generous parents or not generous parents that are going to give you money for grades on your report card. So we have scanner, so we can say how many grades we're going to put in. We have number format, so we can make our output in currency format. We have our two objects. We have all our same variables. In our constructor, we have set the initial values to 0. Our program first asks, in public void program, it asks how many, enter the number of grades on your report card. So you're going to put in the number of grades, and that num grades is put in our for loop header. So that's put in 3 grades, it's going to run 3 times. If you put in 6 grades, it's going to run 6 times. Then it asks you for a letter grade. You could put in A, A minus, B plus, B, B minus, and so on. Just like the other program, you're only going to receive a reward for an A, A minus, B plus, B, or B minus. And you need to answer yes or no. And that goes into our generous. And now we're going to assign a reward if the answer is yes. So we have an if statement and if statement that in here, like we did over here, here's our if statement, if generous. We did an if-else if with boolean operators. We determined how much the grade reward is going to be. And then we totaled up the reward. So we got a total reward, and then we printed our total reward. We're going to take the same if-else if and convert it into a switch. All right, so here we are. Sorry, I have the wrong papers in front of me. All right, so notice here, when we enter a letter grade, this letter grade could be lowercase. And for this example, I want to build this switch for either capital letters or lowercase letters. So I'm going to take my letter grade right here. I'm going to take the letter grade that you've entered, that the user has entered, and I'm going to take the letter grade and I'm going to make it uppercase. All right, to uppercase. So I don't have to worry about the different type of cases. Doesn't matter if it's lowercase or uppercase. It's just going to take it and it's going to make it all uppercase. Every letter grade they enter is going to be uppercase. All right. All right, so we don't have to worry. So I don't want to do multiple cases. So here's our switch. A switch that assigns, nope, that converts a letter grade to a grade reward. All right. So first we have a switch, and inside the parentheses we want our target. And the target we're looking for is our letter grade. So this is a string, so all our cases have to be strings, and that's true. Now a switch has an open and close, it has a body, so you have to do the open and close squiggle bracket. So first we're going to check to see if it's an A. So case A. All right. Now there's no break. After this, there's no break. Remember we did a break and that kicks it out. Because there's no break, whatever's here, it's going to keep falling down and checking the next one. So if it's not an A, it could be an A minus. So if it's not an A, let's say that's false, because there's no break, it will just keep going down. Now with a switch, I want you to know that you can also put the different things you're looking for on the same line. So instead of going down, it checks to see if it's an A. Did you enter an A? Is this letter grade an A? If this is false, instead of going down, it'll go to the right. And then it checks to see if it's an A minus. All right? You can, if you want to, put all this on the same line. I don't really like doing that because I like the symmetry of what a switch looks like. So I'm going to put the grade reward on the next line. So he's going to get $10. And you must put in the break. Otherwise, it's just going to keep going down. Now the next thing we're going to look for is if it's a B plus, B, or B minus. So we get case B plus or a B or a B minus. So if it's not a B plus, it goes to the right, checks to see if it's a B. If it's not a B, goes to the right and checks to see if it's a B minus. All right. And then we're gonna, if it meets one of those things, then it'll assign the proper grade reward, which is, in this case, was $5, right? And then break. We've got to break out of there. Now we don't have to do another if statement because the default, if it's not an A, A minus, B plus, B, or B minus, our default is our grade reward is going to be 0. So if it's not any of those letters, it's going to be 0. And then we want to keep, all right, so it runs through this, All right, so what we're going to do is this time we're going to do the summing. We're going to leave our switch alone. We're going to do our totaling outside plus equal so this totals it up. All right, so if it's true, it goes through this whole thing and it adds them up. Now line 81 could be in different locations. They could be inside each one of these cases, because if this becomes true, it would add them up. It could be outside of this if statement, because it's going to cycle through the whole loop. I mean, it could be. We could put it on line 83. That would also work. But I decided I'm going to put it on line 81 because that's what I did. So it can go in different places. And then after our loop, we want to print our total reward. I left that there. So it's going to print total reward as a dollar thing. So let's compile it, make sure everything's fine. Let's test it with our 3 grades. All right, 3. We have an A. It makes a capital, right? And a C. And we're going to say yes. We're going to enter the switch, but we're going to see if it works. And a B. And this is a yes. So we got an A and a B. So we got a $10 and a $5. We should get $15. Yay! All right. So just to summarize a switch, these are an OR. It's case A or it's case A minus. It's case B plus or case B or case B minus. Just like in our if, else, if. This is checking to see if it's an A or it's an A minus. In this case, we have, with the B plus and the B minus, we have 2 of these ORs. So the coding is different, but they're functionally the same.